Hello, everybody. This is Sri from BizBuzz. What matters the most? Sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly catering to small businesses. Either from creating a quotation, cloning a quotation, all the way to upselling. If you have not looked at it, I would highly recommend you to check it out. Thank you very much for coming on to this podcast. I have a great guest today, Kyle. Kyle, how are you doing?
I'm great, Sri. How's your day going?
Good, good. Wonderful, wonderful. Kyle has been a coaching and mentor since 2003 in various roles, and Kyle has coached dozens of business owners across 20 plus industries, and he's been an author for three different books. Kyle is married to Perry and have wonderful three children, a family man, and helping businesses all around different industries. Kyle, thank you very much for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Excellent. So, in your business coaching experience, Kyle, tell me what is the pattern that small business owners do good, right? And what is it something as a pattern that you identified as what they do wrong?
Yeah, I'd say it's the same thing. They're very, very good at getting a ton of work done and being super effective and knowing what to do and doing it. And then at the same time, since they're doing everything, they're in their own way. And then they get to this point where they're doing everything and they're doing really well at doing everything. And then it becomes too much and they become overwhelmed. This is usually when you're hitting that 500,000 or more in revenue range where you just can't do it all. Even if you have an assistant, you're just overwhelmed. And then that's when the accountability starts to fall off, where they're not following through on their goals and they're starting to struggle a bit there.
Right. Yeah, very interesting. You said that small business owners get in their own way, right? So, do you have a tip or a trick for small businesses to realize, oh, shoot, I'm in my own way here. I need to start getting away from this and having somebody else to help me or delegate it to somebody else. How do you suggest that a small business owner can recognize that?
Sure. I would suggest breaking down the tasks that you complete in a given
Mhm.
week into the different categories of the $10 tasks that can be delegated to a virtual assistant or, a regular assistant, then the $100 tasks that are you're maybe still doing, but someone else on your team could do it, the
Mhm.
$1,000 thinking and tasks, and then the $10,000 types. And break up your week and how much are you focusing on those items. If you're
Mhm.
primarily focusing on the $10 and $100 ones, and it's really difficult for you to focus on the $1,000 ones, you probably need to bring someone else in to support you on those two levels. And then you could start working on the 1,000 and 10,000. And then eventually all you do is work on the 10,000 and then beyond. As your business scales, you can be working on the 100,000 and $1 million tasks instead.
I see. See, that is a very interesting point, perspective you bring into the table, right? So, how, as I'm a small business owner, right? There are gazillion tasks I'm doing every day. And there are tasks that I don't even know that I'm doing the task, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you are a small business owner. You know how it goes. But how do we recognize the need for putting a dollar figure on the task? Is there any way or a method to your madness on that?
Sure. Yeah, you could do a time audit. So take 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks to do this because in the course of a 2 week time period, you're going to cover a majority of the normal stuff and a little bit of the abnormal that you do. And it's a little bit tedious, but in the long run, it's 100% worth it. So I'd
Mm.
suggest get a spreadsheet out, Google or Excel or whatever you use, and set it up so that at every 15-minute interval, you just type in a little tiny note in there that says what you're up to. And again, it is a little tedious, but what this
Mhm.
does is it points out to you what you're doing and how much time you're wasting and how much time you're being effective. I mean, we all know the quadrants: quadrant one, urgent, important; quadrant two, not urgent, but important. And then the other two are a waste of time. So when you look at that list after a 2 week audit, you go, wow, I'm maybe you're not wasting time necessarily because there's still things getting done, but you found that you're spending a lot of time on the things that feel kind of easy to you. That's often what happens instead of the
Mm-hmm.
things that are a little bit tougher or the things that are more planning oriented or stretching you. Wherever it is that you struggle to be stretched, the area of business, the pillar of business that you struggle, and that's probably the one that doesn't have that much time. It probably needs it or to replace yourself within it.
Right. See, so you're telling me that I should track even while I'm on the Facebook and YouTube as well?
For
That's
2 weeks, yes. And then you'll be like, "Oh my goodness, I just watched 25 minutes of YouTube." And I admit it. I did that a number of times. And it sometimes it's okay. Who cares? You just want a
Yeah,
break,
yeah.
give your brain a break, and that's fine. But it
True.
gives you that picture that you go, "Oh wow, okay, I see how I'm spending my day."
Well, I know for sure there are some business owners, they are sitting and working on a toilet as well.
Right. That's right. Put a little
It's a funny, silly, goofy, but trust me, we all have those
100%.
days and moments.
I have
So
been there and recently. So we'll you could put a little, let's be a little vulgar here. We'll put a little poop emoji next to it just to highlight it. Sorry folks, but it's the truth. We can't hide that reality. That's what business owners do.
but let's see this the life of a small business owner is like a 24 by 7 running
Yeah.
wheel.
Yeah.
They will be thinking what they're doing, how they're going to grow, how they're going to get the next customer, even while they're sleeping,
Yep.
let alone while they're eating.
Well, I'll
So
tell you a quick story. Yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning and I was in a hot sweat. I was thinking about the way that we're approaching a system of bringing new clients in and how we onboard them and how we take notes on what's going on with them, et cetera, et cetera. And I implemented a new system replacing an old one. And I woke up
okay.
and I just had the thought that you did the wrong thing, essentially. And so
That's scary.
yeah. And from 2 to 4 in the morning, I was trying to figure out if that thought was accurate or not. And I kept thinking about it. I was journaling about it. I was praying about it, like everything to get my head square around it. And ultimately that thought was accurate. We needed to go back to that old system,
Old system.
and it's a better system. And I thought we had it. The new one was better, but it wasn't. So yes, it's true. You wake up and you're thinking and you're dreaming about the work. It's true. And if you love what you do, it's okay. But if you don't love what you do, then let that be a sign to maybe pivot.
Absolutely. No, listen, I mean, if I speak on behalf of small businesses quite confidently that if they don't love what they're doing, they would not do it. Because these people are all entrepreneurial spirits. They know when to chop it off and move on.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they will know it very quickly. It's just a matter of one more year, maybe 2 more years. That's about it, right? So, one last thing that I wanted to ask you before we come to the conclusion state here. So, the new entrepreneurs, those who are young, or sometimes they may be not necessarily young in the age, but they want to start a business, either because they got fed up with the work that they are doing or anything. So, what do you suggest the first step or a first thought that they need to do before they dive into being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, get a mentor. Get a free mentor. There's a lot of different things out there that's available for you. Score is a great option. If you have some
Yeah,
finances to get a coach, then get a business coach or advisor. And
right.
just and if you don't have the finances for that, then just go pick the brains of other business owners. They'll give you
Mm-hmm.
their time. Buy them a coffee, do 30 minutes. Don't expect an
Mm-hmm.
hour or anything, but they'll give you an hour. If they're
Mm-hmm.
successful, they're going to have that time window and they're going to want to serve you because they've experienced the pain and they've
Mm-hmm.
experienced the success. And those
Yes.
those are the types of owners that will give you their time and give you that
Mm-hmm.
feedback, and it doesn't cost anything, and you're going to skip the line of pain. You're still going to go through some pain as a new entrepreneur. It's
No doubt,
inevitable.
no
You're
doubt.
going to
Yeah.
mess up. It's inevitable. But go find a mentor that you can meet with every other week or once a month at least. And then eventually I do recommend hiring an advisor, hiring a team like we have or other organizations.
You very much. Matter of fact, I do mentor multiple businesses. Um, they're small. They just started a year ago, 2 years ago, struggling what way they're going and whatnot. No, great. Thank you very much. So, if I conclude it as you are suggesting the business owners, particularly list out their tasks, what they're doing. Take a minute or 30 seconds break every 15 minutes or a half an hour. Just write something into an Excel file or even on the piece of paper what you're doing. And eventually, in a 2 weeks period, you really know what you are working and then classify them, whether it is a $10 task or a $100 task, and then decide whether it can be delegated. If there is enough that you needed to delegate it out and that can be delegated out, then you can get a virtual assistant or delegate it to one of your colleagues. And that way, you will have free time to think on a bigger picture or think strategically and plan better. And if you want to be a startup or a new entrepreneur, so Kyle, you are suggesting that take a mentor first and take a business coach if you can afford it. Am I stating it right, Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say just to highlight that 10, 100,000 and $10,000 task thing is if you do 100 $10 tasks, that's going to take you 100 hours, let's say, or you can do the $1,000 task
$100. Yeah, $1,000 there. Yeah.
for an hour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it takes you 100 hours to get the 1,000 or 1 hour to get it. What's wiser? And then once you have the freedom to
Absolutely.
move to the 10,000, of course, spend the hour on the one $10,000 task. So I
Right.
think it matters to really weigh out that and to recognize the revenue change that it has on your business.
And if somebody wanted to talk to you and wanted to go a little deep dive on this topic, how do they reach you?
Yeah, you can go to championempire.net and there's a way to reach out to connect for a free consultation, to connect with us. We have a deep bench of advisors. We have 8 advisors available. I'm one of those primary advisors on the team. But just head to the website and reach out to connect.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Greatly appreciate your time and certainly appreciate sharing the knowledge that you have gained over the course of your experience.
Thank you, Tree. Great
Have a
interview.
wonderful day.
Appreciate it.